Hi.
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 Hello. Hi, I'm Miranda Reeser. I'm in show band, jazz band, and band. I play the oboe, the trumpet, violin, guitar, and a little bit of harp on the side as well.
I'm Kayla Coleman, and I'm in band, pep band, choir, show choir.
I'm Shy Thierry and I'm in chorus.
I am Bree Hadley and I am also in chorus.
My name is Mr. Meinertz and I'm the choir director at Brodhead High School and Brodhead Middle School.
My name is Cameron Chambly. I'm a sophomore and I'm in Guys and Dolls.
My name is Lexi. I'm in chorus.
I'm Caitlin. I'm a senior at BHS.
I'm Mr. Huffman and I went to Brodhead High School and I graduated in 2001, and while I was in high school here I was in the show choir all 4 years and I was also in band. I played the trombone and the baritone.
I'm Kylie Mullen. I'm in show choir, Guys and Dolls. I'm in band. I play the trombone.
I feel that music is very important to have in schools because it gives students a place to be free to show things that they can't say, a good environment, because a lot of times, well, at least here in Brodhead, the music department is very open and kind of loving, kind of make our own little family. So, I mean, if you have a hard life at home, you have like a secondary family to go to.
Well, I think that music education is important. I think it just makes you a more creative person if you're doing well in the music classes, and that can make you a better student in math or English or any of your classes. Plus, I just think it's a very enjoyable class for many people, and it makes the day enjoyable instead of just going through the regular routine of math and science and English and all the core classes that can get kind of boring. Just a positive class for a lot of people. And you know, and the nice thing about Brodhead High School is you can be good at music or be good at student council or sports, and it doesn't just have to be sports like some other schools. You can be good at music and still be a school leader.
I think music is important for schools to have because it's a good way for kids to express themselves.
And it kind of like brings you back down to earth, and when like things get stressful you can just go to your music and it's just your outlet.
And I mean, if you love music like we do, we almost lose ourselves in it.
And I think it's very important to have because it gives all students an opportunity to take risks and open up more as people. It also builds confidence and provides an environment where they can not be afraid to be themselves. And studies have also shown that students involved in music have better attendance and perform better academically.
And I think that it's very important that schools teach music education because a lot of people end up falling in love with music, and that usually, like, for instance, my favorite class is chorus class. So pretty much if I'm in a bad mood and I show up in chorus class and my mood improves.
I think it's very stupid that schools are cutting music programs because a lot of kids are creative, maybe not in art, like painting and wise, but they are very creative music wise. And I also feel like they're cutting music for sports because they need the money for sports because everyone puts sports before music.
I know that there have been cuts at schools, and sometimes they cut music programs, and I think music programs get cut because some school boards feel that music is not as important as math and science and English. So when schools have huge budget cuts, they tend to cut back on music versus the other classes. However, I find this funny considering the fact that we use music to learn our alphabet and other basic skills as children.
I think some schools cut music education because they think it's not as important, or simply because they don't have enough money in the budget for music. And I'm so glad that our music education is still in Brodhead because I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't here.
Unfortunately, they cut music programs at schools because because of budgets. We're always working against budgets, and there's never enough money to have as much classes as we want to have. And we don't have state standardized testing and national standardized testing on music or art or the tech ed classes. We're only assessing math, science, and English and those core classes. So if we have to make a choice between what class is more important, unfortunately we have to choose the ones that we're being assessed on so that we can do well on those tests. And Brodhead has had a very strong tradition for a long time for strong music, and I hope that never changes. And I hope the people in Brodhead realize that. And so far they have. People in Brodhead have always been very supportive of our music programs.
I moved to Brodhead from Oregon, and Brodhead also has band and choir just like Oregon had band and choir. The only big differences were Oregon had an orchestra, and Oregon only had cantabile, which was like intricate music, and they had an a cappella group, where here in Brodhead you guys have a show choir, which is fantastic. I love that you guys put together singing, dancing, and acting in one.
I originally moved here over the summer from Alabama. Difference-wise with music programs here is that it's a lot cheaper because to get into the show choir there at my old school is you had to audition, but if you made it, you had to pay like almost $2,000, if not more. Yeah, it was really expensive. I'd say we have here at BHS a better variety of music that we can do.
The choir here is a lot different from Delvin's because here we have first soprano, second soprano, and then alto. Back in Delvin, we had middle, alto, and sopranos.
I really like the music department here because I think Mr. and Mrs. Reister does a fantastic job at directing, and they taught me when I was in band, and they're just phenomenal teachers. I think the band plays really good. I really like the show choir this year because I think the songs are a lot better than last year. They're singing Human by Christina Perri, which is really good. It's a very emotional and touching song, so I feel like they can, really get into the music. I think they're pretty good for the most part. They have things that they still need to work on, but they're awesome.
Our first performance for show choir this last weekend went amazing. We got best show band, and we also got second runner-up, and we beat schools that were 3 or 4 times bigger than our own school.
Well, this weekend we had our first show choir performance, and it went great. We performed our first time, and we got 3rd place. So we made it to finals, which is the top 6 groups. Then we performed again for finals, and we stayed strong to our 3rd place, and we won our second runner-up, which is 3rd place at Burlington Chocolate City Showcase.
Our first competition that we had here at BHS was in Burlington. We got 3rd in finals. And for how we did from my point of view is that we did really well. Yeah, we have to work on some things, but we basically did really well for our first competition in Burlington.
Well, obviously Burlington was our first competition. We got there, we got dressed, we watched all our soloists, we finally got to compete. We met a bunch of old friends from old competing schools and a couple new friends from some new competitors. We ended up getting into finals and placing 3rd, which is second runner-up, and everyone was really excited about that. And finally we got home and everyone was tired and everyone went to bed.
Take 4. Take 4.
You said take 4 already.
Well, I think. What was the question?
Why is music education important?
Are we rolling?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead. We're rolling. It's fine. Hit the pause button.
Okay.
Start over. I forgot what I'm saying.
So I'm trying to think in my head how to do this. You're just
I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say.
My side instruments are I can't